Shiny lights and purple sky, everything's so bright. 기다려왔어 지금이야. Turn off your phone and off your mind. Look at you so bright. 멈출 수 없어 지금이야. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Come on up, enjoy your ride. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Just be ready to enjoy your night. Oh, baby, it's right now. You don't wanna waste this time. 어디든지 가줄게. Yeah, I know the world can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon. Can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon. 춤을 춰봐 left and right. You know you feel so right. 다른 시선 따윈 don't care. 무기타져라 소리쳐. You know you feel so right. 이제부터가 시작이야. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Come on up, enjoy your ride. Oh, I'll take you to the moon. Just be ready to enjoy your night. Oh, baby, it's right now. You don't wanna waste this time. 어디든지 가줄게. Yeah, I know the world can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon. Can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon. Oh, baby, it's right now. You don't wanna waste this time. 어디든지 가줄게. Yeah, I know the world can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon. Can't stop. 이루어질 거야. I'll take you to the moon.
Good evening and welcome to Be More Super Live. You know what, Dan? I've got a new intro. Ready? Are you ready?
I enjoyed
for
it,
this?
mate. Go on.
Yo, what's up, super fam? Brian here, your captain on this wild ride. And as always, I've got my man, the legend, Dan, the man with me. Get ready to blast off into universe of entertainment. We're breaking down everything from the hottest news to the deepest cuts. Buckle up, because this is Be More Super Live, where the talk is raw, unfiltered, and as real as it gets. No script, no filter, just two dudes talking entertainment. So let's dive in, folks.
Did ChatGPT write that for you?
Yeah.
I tried
Yeah.
to do that myself. I was applying for a job and I got them to write the the cover letter that nobody can be bothered to write nowadays, where you just
Yeah.
I don't want to write a cover letter. So I thought I'd get ChatGPT to do it. And it was very like, I'd love to and get involved in your prestigious company and perpetuate it. And I went, I don't speak like this. No, I wouldn't read that. No, thank you. So I just
So we've
let
got
it go.
Julia Plews loving the new intro graphics. Nice to have you with us. And then we've got Monica S. Good late evening. I'm not sure what she means by good late evening. I don't know where you are, Monica. Please let us know where you're watching from. If it's really, really late, it's probably somewhere in Europe. Who knows? In Europe, we're in Europe, or are we? I'm not sure. And Ian Law rumbled. Listen, I've only used Chat GPT a couple of times, and I've got to say it's the most unusual thing to use. Literally, you've got to be so careful. You really, really do. And it's 9 o'clock here for Monica S. Whereabouts are you, Monica? Because 9 o'clock, that's got to be somewhere like. Where would that be? Would that be
Oh, that's Central
Germany,
Europe. That's like
France?
Germany or France or that way on.
Oh,
But Monica with a K. I'm going Central Europe somewhere. I'm gonna bet on Czech Republic. Come on, Monica, don't let me down.
Czech. Okay, I'm gonna think. I don't know. France. I'm gonna say
All right.
France. Okay, we're gonna wait for Monica to reply. But you know what? Yeah, it's been a wild week. It really, really has. And obviously, you were missed last week. We didn't have a live show, but we're back again this week. Oh, Europe, yes. Austria,
I was so close. So
so
close.
close, so close.
Tenner on it. Oh, Ian.
Yeah. So tenor on it. Ian, please be quiet. Ian is a lovely Scottish man, and he plays Daisy, and yeah. So I will take him off that screen. But yeah. So we've got a lot to go through tonight. It's been a hectic
Yes.
week. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was The Boys, because
Yes.
obviously season 4, as its trailer released. But did you watch Gen V?
I did watch Gen V. Again, I think I said it to you when I first started watching it on the show. I really, you know, do you know
Wait a
what they did
second.
with
Wait a
Indiana?
second. Wait.
Go on, what
Wait
we
a
got?
second. I've made a massive mistake. All right, because obviously Ian, he isn't from Scotland. He's from Margate. Of course, he's from Margate. I just had a moment then. He goes by the name Dolores,
Right.
which is his screen name. Ex-army.
Right.
Sorry, my friend. He's probably going to give me hell later on.
Yeah.
And then you've got Joshua Dack, that he said, "I love fudge." I bet you
Good.
do love fudge. Everyone
Good.
loves fudge. A finger of fudge. No, I won't go
I
into
tell
the
you what,
song.
I am in my 40s. I have heard them all. And then one
Yeah.
day I was presenting a radio show, and the guy I was presenting it with called me the Fudge Meister General, and I was like, do you know what? I'll give you that. That's new. I've not heard that one before. So I think that was my. You know, when you set up those horrendous emails when they first came out, and my first one was Fudge Meister General 69 at yahoo.com or something like that. You know what I mean? I was
And
like,
then you
well,
go for a really important
yep,
job, and
yep,
and
yep,
you, and you put.
yep.
Honestly, I have interviewed so many people where it says "sexy Holly," and like you look up and you go, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh
Anyway,
dear."
let's
But
let's get
but
back
then
to the boys.
yes, but I just want to say, Larry, miss you, Brian. I miss you too, my friend. But yeah, let's go back to The Boys,
Boys.
season
So
4. Yes.
So what they said, what they did with Indiana Jones, and bear with me on this. So Indiana Jones, the first one was really good, and the second one was great. But there was a point where they got to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and they got to the most recent one, the Dial of Destiny,
Yeah.
and someone's gone, "Hey, same with Rambo as well. You know those bits that everybody liked in that movie? Let's just do them." So, and I felt like that Gen V kind of was like Grange Hill, most of it, just angsty teenage nonsense, like Riverdale, but then with a good old few set pieces thrown in because they like the minging stuff. Let's just do more of the minging. So there was a bit where they're like the teenage and the kids are interacting. I'm like, God, just get on with it. What? Come on now. And
Wait,
then
what? You didn't like it?
it was
You didn't
was
like it?
good. It was a solid 3.5, 4 out of 5. Like, you know what I mean? It was
Ah.
okay. It weren't The Boys because it's not got Butcher in it and it's not got Frenchie and Mother's Milk and you know what I mean? And I'm like, and those are the guys that I like. I like that side of it. But then when Homelander turned up at the end, and you were like,
Oh,
"Yep, all right, now I'm excited."
Wait a second. Spoiler alert there.
Oh,
Okay. We need to be careful. So if you haven't watched Gen V, and you want to watch it, even though Dan is giving it a 3.5 to 4 out of 5.
Yeah, give it a go.
Close your ears now. But yeah, he appears at the end. I can't believe you don't really like it. I really liked it.
I just thought it was okay. I just thought it seemed like a bit of a cash grab. But then when you go through, I tell you what it is. Had it not been for Marvel,
Mm.
I'd have just allowed it. But like with a lot of the movies, like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch and Multiverse and all that, you had to have watched WandaVision, and that was shite. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to, you know what I mean? You had to have watched these Marvel series, and it's the same with Loki as well. If you've not seen the last series of Loki, you kind of like, oh, I've got to watch this now to find out where Loki is for the next Marvel movie. We don't.
Yeah.
Who's in charge now? What's happening? Who's in charge of the Avengers? What's going on?
But the thing is, right, The Boys and Gen V, I don't think they've got any comparison to Marvel because I think they're so well written, and it's like a superhero show for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? The risque.
It is,
and it's sort of,
it's real. You believe it that it could happen.
Yeah.
I tell you what's going to happen. Like, I tell you what, put the spoiler alert thing back on again, Brian. Quick.
quick. Spoiler alert. Here we go.
So, in the last season of The Boys, we saw the demise of Black Noir. It's not public knowledge, and I feel like the main male character from Gen V will don that outfit. I feel that that's what's going to happen. You know, the brother of the guy. I'm trying to fart around the poo here, Brian. But yeah, I feel like that's where we're going to go with that. I feel like there's going to be a tie-in such as that coming in.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're going to get a season 2 of Gen V, which I look forward to. I like the characters. I like, how cheeky it is, like it is in The Boys. And you do get Soldier Boy that appears in Gen V. You do get a lot of connections with, The Boys sort of world. But you know what? Let's have a look at The Boys trailer for season 4.
Rome, Greece. All democracies fail because people are fucking stupid. But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint? The people will tear it apart themselves. You just gotta nudge them a little. Then you get to swoop in, be the one saving it.
Like Caesar.
Like Caesar.
Don't worry. If there's hell below,
Oh, hell.
Who wants their balls crushed?
Your team. What's your code name again?
The Boys.
Oof. Who came up with that shit?
Yeah, Jeffrey
Yes.
D. Morgan is in it, and obviously Rob Benedict as well from Supernatural, which is the guy that was splitting it in half. I'm not being funny, but it's so well made. Why aren't shows like this made like this? It's just, you get superhero movies that don't even have got budgets of like 200-300 million. That doesn't even get close to how real, as you said, this comes across. It's just amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, I like the drilling of the the marketing side of it and how much money they make and they're up 10 points this and the opinion polls are that and this is what and I feel like that's exactly what would happen if we had superheroes in the real world. Somebody would somehow market them and make money off them, and they're just a commodity. And I really like that side of it. And I felt like I say, I feel like Gen V missed that a little bit, but it did touch upon it in terms of the school popularity. But I'm a man in my 40s. I don't give a shit about school popularity, and I feel like that's the difference. You know what I mean? But yeah, honestly, I am truly excited about it. I mean, JDM, as we all remember, as Negan, and that guy that Bosch Gerard Butler's missus in P.S. I Love You. Like, he's absolutely outstanding in everything he does, and when he plays a character such as that, I mean, we all remember in The Walking Dead with those big old lady balls and that lean, that I absolutely anything he does, I'm there for, and I'm so excited. And that last shot of Homelander covered in blood and gore, I hope that comes in early. And then we also saw a new Black Noir there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Homelander, I've got to say, is one of those characters that is crazy as hell, and you don't know what to expect. And I just cannot wait. And Jeffrey D. Morgan, I loved him since Watchmen. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously Walking Dead. So I cannot wait to see that. So that is coming out the beginning of next year. So it hasn't got an actual date. So it just says early 2024. So we'll have to wait and see when that comes out. And then I had some exclusive news for Superman and Lois. So if you've got any Superman and Lois fans out there, I had some breaking news that actually broke to the world regarding a cast member that's actually coming back. So at the end of season 3, they cut all the characters except for the Kent family. And then they got Michael Cutlitz as a regular now as Lex Luthor. So it hit all the news, it hit all the papers and everything like that, because all these characters are regular characters. But then I had a message. I had some information regarding a return of a character, and it stirred the pot a bit. I'm trying to get the picture now, and it's, of course, the wonderful Dylan Walsh that plays General Sam Lane. So he's actually coming back to Superman and Lois for season 4 for 2 episodes. So only 2. So there's only going to be, I think, 10 episodes for the last final season before Superman and Lois is ended.
So they're going to give it an opportunity to wrap up then. They don't normally get that, do they? That, sometimes it's nice to have an ending.
See, the thing that shocked all the fans is that the end of season 3, Sam Lane gets kidnapped, and then you don't see him. You don't know if he's alive, dead, or anything. So the fact that he got cut at the end of season 3 by the production team, creators, whoever's got that decision making, I thought was really shocking, because we'll never find out. And I hate it when people mention characters that are not in the show anymore to clarify the position of that character. Just bring him back for one episode.
Bit of narration, like just to go, oh, do you remember when he fell in that massive pit? Oh yeah, we're never going to see him again.
It's like in them shows when they mention kids. But you never see a child. They're always upstairs in their bedroom. It's a bit like EastEnders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bobby's
Martin
always upstairs. Yeah. So they just can't afford to pay an actor to come downstairs. That's what it is.
Well, they did that with was it Walt in Lost, where they kind of had this entire story arc that they set out, where there was a polar bear in his comic, and then there's polar bears attacking people. Then he got on a boat. And then he didn't come back for about 4 seasons, and he was about 6 foot tall by the time he came back or something, if I remember rightly. But then, I've tried to eradicate the ending of that out of my life, so I might be wrong.
But the question is, what other cast members are coming back to Superman and Lois? So if Dylan's coming back for 2 episodes, I know that 100%. Obviously, I can't divulge where I got that information from, but 100% it's true. He's being flown out, and he's going to be doing 2 episodes. So I cannot wait. I think they're starting filming soon. I met Alex Garfin that plays Jordan Kent on the show a couple of weeks ago, and they said at the beginning of January, I think, filming starts. So let me just take his picture down. So I think it's time for a message from our sponsors. Looking at
Do
the
the go,
time.
do the go.
Do the go. So, as everyone knows, our sponsors are propstore.com. They are the place to go if you need your authentic costumes and props from your favorite movie or TV show. They do amazing auctions. They just had one for the Fall of the House of Usher from the Netflix show in conjunction with Mike Flanagan, the creator. And we went down a few weeks ago and had a great time at their headquarters in Rickmansworth. But they're great. Check out their website, propstore.com. If you go on there and you want to buy something from the Buy Now section, you're right there, Dan. From the Buy
Sorry,
Now.
I just inhaled something then.
If you want to buy something from the Buy Now section, you can get 10% off. And you can get 10% off by using
How do you get 10% off, Brian? Brian, how do you get 10% off? Do the code. Tell them the code. How do you get 10?
Brian 10. So if you put Brian 10 in the discount bin, whatever it'll come out with, enter a discount code, just Brian 10, and you get 10% off at the checkout, which I think's awesome. And that's propstore.com. You can see, the name below there under Powered By. It's Propstore, our sponsors. But not only that, Dan, not only that.
Is there more?
So
Is there more things?
It's giveaway time, mate. It's giveaway time.
Oh.
So
Yes.
if anyone wants to win an awesome prize, we're going to be announcing the winner on, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd of January, whichever's a Wednesday. I've just literally gone blank. Let me just have a.
I'll check up while you're telling me. I'll tell him while you.
It's the 3rd. So the 3rd of January, we're going to be announcing the winner by random. We might actually get our lovely guest to announce a winner. That might be quite good to randomly do that. But they are giving us something to give away.
Okay.
So if you're a Star Wars fan, in the film industry, they have storyboards that they draw out to figure out how they're going to shoot an actual film. So Star Wars is one of the most iconic movies to date, and what they've given us is this storyboard. It's worth £325 if you bought it.
Good Lord.
So what it is, it's a production used storyboard used in production of Star Wars. That scene there is the scene where they're flying down the gully of the Death Star. So it's quite, an iconic scene. And it's signed by Robert Watts, who's one of the producers of Star Wars. He's also a producer on Indiana Jones, as well as loads of others. He was like George Lucas's right-hand man. There was George Lucas, Gary Kurtz, and then Robert Watts that was involved. All you've got to do to literally be in for a chance to win this is subscribe to the YouTube channel. And that's it. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be in for a chance to win this randomly on the 3rd of January. And it's going to be sent out directly from PropStore HQ to you, no matter where you are, worldwide. So get on it.
And that's a genuine piece. That's a genuine storyboard.
Genuine storyboard. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. I'm just going to text some of my friends to make sure they're... Just,
to be honest,
can you all just log on?
It is well worth it. It is well worth it. I mean, again, it's already framed, mounted professionally, which that alone costs a fortune. So it's all ready to hang on your wall. And as I said, it's worth £325. So PropStore, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to give someone a great prize. It's always great to work with a great company like PropStore. And remember, subscribe to the channel and you could be in for a chance to win that on the 3rd of January, which is awesome, which I just think is fantastic. I mean, I've given away a Supergirl production use storyboard before and an Indiana Jones one, which was pretty cool. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is rumors, because we all love rumors. We all love rumors, and I was looking on the internet the other day, and a poster popped up, and I thought it was real to begin with because you do. You think, oh, because Hollywood at the moment is just coming out with everything. So this was a poster that popped up, which is this one. And then I got looking at it a bit more, and I thought I recognize John's stance on that photo,
Right.
on that poster. And obviously, I'm a big 13 Hours fan. You know, listeners of the show will know I'm absolutely obsessed with that movie. And I thought something's not right here. So I put something out on social media, and straight away someone said, no, that poster's been artificially generated by AI.
Were you going to say inseminated then?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you heard it here first. They now artificially inseminate movie posters on the interwebs now. That's what happens.
Exactly. And it got me thinking, right, okay, it's fake, right? But
Right.
let's talk about a few movies that we think should be made or shouldn't be made. So Die Hard. Do you think
Right.
they should remake Die Hard?
I tell you what, so my issue with a lot of remakes is that they tend to be a bit churned out. They tend to be a bit sterile. You know what I mean? So yes, they'd make Die Hard, they'd make it all singing, all dancing, and they'd change various bits, but they'd have some iconic phrases in it and all the rest of it, and yeah, great. But it's still just Die Hard, just with newer computers and newer technology in the thing. Because, like, for example, the sign-in computer at the beginning of the original Die Hard, when she's using her maiden name and stuff like that, it looks a bit naff nowadays and things like that. But there's also a lot of things that you'd have to change, because if you look at something like, I don't know, Friends, right? A lot of that would have been changed if text messaging was as prevalent as it is now, right? You wouldn't be able to get away with a lot of the storylines. And I feel like you'd do the same with something like Die Hard. You'd be like, what's going on down there? Oh, babe, someone's broke in. Oh, what room is he in? Oh, he's in the office. All right, I'll go and attack that one. Cheers. See you later. Bye. No movie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if they've changed that much, is it still Die Hard?
Yeah. I mean, the problem is with Hollywood, they're remaking so many things. Do you know what I mean? And I think with Die Hard, up to the point of, I would say, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Past number 3, Die Hard literally died hard.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
the last one that was good was the one with Jeremy Irons and Samuel L. Jackson.
With a vengeance.
Yeah. After that, it just went downhill.
Yep.
So if they remade it, question is, John Krasinski, do you think he would make a good John McClane?
Okay, so John Krasinski is an interesting one, because you didn't expect him to be playing somebody like Jack Ryan when he in that series, and he's very good at it. But I just don't think he's not New York grizzled cop enough for me. I feel like this probably surfaced because they gave Pedro Pascal the Fantastic Four role. So I thought, well, what we're going to do with John Krasinski? Well, let's stick him in Die Hard. Like, you know what I mean? You can see the thought process there. But I just don't think he's grizzled enough. I need somebody a bit, the thing about what was appealing to me about Bruce Willis was that he doesn't look like a movie star. He's just some bloke, some balding bloke. Do you know what I mean? Who clearly just stepped off a plane after trying to see his missus, who's just come off the beat. And I think he's a bit too, I mean, look at the shape he's in on that picture there. He's a bit too chiseled. And what they'll end up doing is putting somebody in there like Krasinski or like The Rock or something like that. And all of a sudden, it's just lost what it had. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've watched 13 Hours.
I haven't. I've
Oh,
just written it down.
mate, you need to watch it. You need to watch it, and then you need to tell me exactly when you've watched it, because that film is just epic. And to see him in that film, actually, I can see him as John McClane, because
Right.
yeah, we see him as Jack Ryan, but Jack Ryan again is a desk jockey that is CIA. That
This
goes
got thrown into it.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In 13 Hours, he is like ex-soldier. He's like a Marine or special ops. So he's a bit more like sort of John McClane. But give 13 Hours a watch. But again, this is fake. Before we move on, would you say it's a Christmas movie?
Of course it is. I don't know why it's even up for discussion. And do you
Even
know
the
what? I'm sick
second
of
one,
seeing the discussion every
the
year.
second one. You know,
Even the second one.
The
Yeah,
second
that's
one,
in the snow.
It ends with the song "When the weather outside is frightful."
And bear in mind, it done end. You know, like when you think it's all over, and then there's like another half an hour where it takes a plane down, and you're like, oh, and it's snowing, so go Christmas movie, right?
And favorite scene when them grenades get launched into the cockpit. And he sees them and he straps himself in. And honestly, you don't get movies like that. So another one that's rumoured to be remade is Big.
Right.
Do you think yes, no, or just, they should just leave it alone?
I tell you what, with this movie, right, I don't give a shit. like this like I know people really love this movie. I'm quite indifferent to it. I'm like, it's just a thing that happened. It's just a movie what took place. So I'm not invested in it enough. Like you know, we spoke off air prior to this about Ghostbusters. You know that nobody can fart around the poo with Ghostbusters for me. I will fight a man. Which is why I've not seen the Melissa McCarthy and Chris Hemsworth one. Right, I've not watched it. I'm not going to watch it because you're messing with my childhood there. And with Big, it's just a movie that took place. For me, it's like them remaking the movie The Shadow from the 90s. Do you know what I mean? It's just one that took place.
I quite like that show. that film with Alec Baldwin. But I mean, I can see Big being one of these Disney TV films. Do you know what I mean? Where they've taken a kid that's from, I don't know, that's current at the moment, and they've taken, I don't know, Zac Efron and made him. Do you know what I mean? So, but I completely agree. I don't really care about Big. I think it's a great movie.
I don't give a shit.
You know,
I didn't dislike it. I'm not precious about it to have an opinion. If that makes sense.
I've got fond memories when you go around and see some fair, and they've got like a Voltar sort of
I kind of go, oh, that's that thing off that thing, and then move on with my life. Yeah,
exactly. Next one rumored to be remade is The Lost Boys.
Right.
I mean, obviously you've had some sequels, believe it or not. You may not know, but there have been. But apparently it's rumored here. Apparently CW network is rebooting it into a TV series.
Right. That could be a good TV series, but let's not forget, right? And I need to be very clear about this: that the original Lost Boys movie is fucking terrible. Do you know what I mean? Let's right. I truly don't. Right, hang on. Bear with me on this. Right, I truly don't understand why it's got such a cult following. Because
it's amazing.
Let's look at this movie. Right, you've got Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, who by far and away are the two of the most annoying things I've ever seen on a screen. And they went on to make their own show. And there's a scene in it where he goes, Michael, you've turned into a vampire, Michael. I can't believe you've done that, Michael. I'm going to tell Mum, Michael. That can get in the bin, that entire scene, because that's just annoying. And then there's not really any dialogue from Kiefer Sutherland's character to kind of portray what the fuck is actually going on. It's just some kids what dick about that essentially don't really do anything bad, but everybody's all like, oh, they're wrong uns just because they're wearing leather jackets and they got terrible haircuts. And then there's a bit where he feeds him something and he goes, oh, it's maggots. Ah. And you're like, oh, all right. And then it just kind of ends. And you're like, what the fucking hell was that? Like, what? How is this movie popular? I genuinely didn't understand the popularity of The Lost Boys.
Do you know what? I disagree with you. Everything. It's an amazing movie.
Tell me what you like about it, because
this is the first time we're actually going to proper disagree. Because this is what Nadine said as well. One take, Nadine Crocker. She said it's quite nice to have a show where you know the host would disagree. For this show, for this film, I just think it was one of my favourite vampire movies because I don't know if it's nostalgia. I don't know if it's because when I watched it, I was quite young, but I just thought it was great. I just thought the story was good. I know you're saying annoying, but I think that was the era of you know, when the film was made. That's how acting was. That's how, I mean, you look at like Fred Savage in The Wizard, you know, which was that Nintendo film and all that lot. It was sort of very, very similar. but I just loved it. I just thought it was great, and I would
So
happily watch it
is it
again and
the air
again.
of nostalgia that you kind of like a bit? A
No,
little
I
bit?
enjoy. I enjoy how they portrayed vampires. I enjoyed the fact that um, it's very similar to Peter Pan.
What? I didn't get any of that. They were hanging off a bridge, and then he let go, and then we don't know what happened when he let go. He fell into some
So,
smoke. That's about
so,
it.
so
What's happening?
if you look at the story, right, it's
Right.
very like Peter Pan. So you've
Right.
got Kiefer Sutherland, that's Peter Pan, and then you've got the Lost Boys, yeah,
Right.
and literally they never age or anything like that. And then obviously Jason Patrick that plays his character is a bit like Wendy. Do you know what I mean? And is going to join the Lost Boys. In my head, I'm seeing Peter Pan. You obviously don't like it, so there's no point. No point.
No,
What I say?
I genuinely didn't get that. But like, I know deep down that Ghostbusters 2 is essentially
Yeah.
a terrible movie. But I will fight a man that slags off
And
Ghostbusters
did you know?
2, right?
And did you know the woman in the poster, the actress in the
Mm-hmm.
poster, she was in Twister. She was Bill
Right.
Paxton's other half. Do you know how rich
no.
she is now? She's one of the richest
mega loaded.
actresses in the world.
Because she was in Lost Boys.
No, because she married a multi-billionaire.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, fair. Fair.
So there
Can't
you
argue
go.
with that.
So, right,
So
we're
if there's
moving
any
on from-
multi-millionaire ladies watching, tap me up.
And the next one I've got here, and this is messing with our childhood.
Right, I'm gonna fight a prick. Honest. I'm
Honestly.
not having it. I'm not. Someone what?
So apparently, this is one of the films that is said to be in the works now.
Reboot or remake?
Well, I think a reboot. So hopefully, fingers crossed. You see, for me, what I would imagine is those kids are all grown up. They've got
Yeah.
kids themselves. That means that we can have Sean Astin, we can have Josh Brolin, and everyone else in it, but it's their kids that are involved. And it introduces a new sort of rat pack with, amongst Hollywood. Which I want them to be all unknown actors, by the way. I don't want them to be, because for me, unknown actors are easier to believe in their roles. But yeah, I mean, what do you reckon? The Goonies. I love the Goonies.
Right.
Bit of
Hang on.
Cyndi Lauper,
Right. Time After Time is one of the greatest songs ever written.
No. It's the Cyndi Lauper song is.
The other one in it. What is it?
The video with all the wrestlers. Roddy Piper and all them lot.
That's going to annoy me now that I can't remember it. Any road. Let me. God. Right. Do you remember the day where you saw that Transformers was coming out, the Michael Bay Transformers, around 2007? We'd have been about 26, 27, right? When that came out. And we were like, oh my God, Transformers, that's going to be mint. And then we went to go and watch it, and we were all woefully disappointed, essentially, because we realized that, hang on, shit, this isn't made for us. This is not for us. And we'll take the kids to see it, but this is just not for us. So you watch the first couple just because Transformers, right? And then you kind of peter around Age of Extinction or whatever, right? You're kind of done with it. You're kind of out. And I feel like when it comes to reboots, I don't know who the audience is sometimes, right? So with the Goonies, I thought what the charm of that was the practical special effects. Like there was a skeleton there. I mean, all right, the skeletons in the water and all about that, but it was actually terrifying. There was genuine pain when people hit something. There was genuinely people falling over and cuts on hands, and they're actually wet and all stuff like that. I don't feel that a remake of it would capture that magic. I feel like it'll be some sterile CG nonsense for a load of 10-year-olds nowadays. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And also, again, they'll be making it not for us. They'll be making it for the kids now. Like when we enjoyed it. So unfortunately, it is going to be CGI. It is going to be that. And the only thing that we're going to get from it is the hope to see the original cast be in it again.
Yeah.
In some way or form.
I want to see the descendants of the Fratellis and see what they're doing now. You know what I mean? I want to see what they're doing, because if you really think about it, there was no real point to the Fratellis in that entire movie apart from just have an antagonist. Like they were just there.
It's
They were
funny.
just there.
It was funny. But the thing is, though, it's like Chunk now is unrecognizable because he's a Hollywood lawyer. He's a lawyer for actors, and he looks completely different. So it would be quite nice to see, some form of reincarnation of it. I mean, I just hope they don't try and remake it altogether. I think that would be a slap in the face to everyone.
Yeah.
Of
I
the Gen
I want to
X
see
community.
Josh Brolin with a red bandana and a sleeveless t-shirt. I want to see it. I need to see it.
On that pulling thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. It has got to happen. But the thing is, though, I mean, rightly so. There are franchises that haven't given the studios a chance to reboot them because they're doing such a good job. And we did mention about Ghostbusters, and obviously, the one with Melissa McCarthy, as you were saying earlier on, entertainment value, it was all right. It was like,
right.
If I've got nothing else to watch on TV, I'll watch it. It was good in that way. But from a Ghostbusters point of view, from my childhood, from loving that show, it wasn't. But then they made Afterlife, which for me, when I went to go and see the cinema, I near enough cried.
Did you
at
cry?
the end.
Did you cry? Did you cry your eyes out?
Yeah.
I did. Because I'm watching this thing, right, and I've seen these old geriatric men in their late 70s coming out, and I'm 6-year-old again, right? I'm welling up already, and then he went, "Hey, flat top," and nearly exploded, right? And then it kind of went on a bit with that bit with Venkman, I must admit. But then when Egon helps his granddaughter hold that pack, and they're kind of looking. I'm a mess at this point. And my girlfriend at the time was something like 22, just laughing at me, going, "You silly old knobhead."
Yeah, they don't understand.
You know what I mean?
They don't understand.
You weren't there, man. You don't know.
To be honest, to be honest, that cinema when I went to watch it was just full of men, just full of men around our age, crying, and then all looking round, thinking, "Do you know what? We're all right. We understand because
we just cuddle afterwards. It's all right."
Yeah, group cuddle. But again, they've continued it, which I think is fantastic, and they're continuing it with Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Mm-hmm.
But then the originals are coming back more than ever. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie
Hudson. Is Sigourney Weaver going to turn up?
See, thing is, at the end of Afterlife, I can't believe that it was like a post-credit scene with Sigourney, and I don't know if that's because she was busy filming Avatar or whatever, but I would have liked her to come back a bit more. But I just thought what they did with it, I think, was genius for what, without repeating the magic of 1 and 2. I just think what they did was genius, introducing a new sort of breed of Ghostbusters, and I just thought it was fantastic. But I'm really looking.
It was a new breed that I didn't hate. I really liked the way they set the character up in terms of Spengler's granddaughter.
Yes.
And Paul Rudd. Well, you know what you're going to get with Paul Rudd, and I kind of like that Spengler's daughter was a bit of a loser. I love that she was struggling to make ends meet, and she just wasn't handed this entire life. It was just like, well, she's just a normal person, but her daughter's a bit of a nerd, and I kind of like that. I really like the way and he's just a gobby teenager. Old Stranger Things there. I really like that. I kind of like the way they set it up. I didn't dislike him, and then what's his name? Podcast. I kind of liked him as well. He was funny.
But thing is, though, the thing that worries me is that in this new movie, they're all going to be grown up. Do you know what I mean? Because kids grow really quick. And the kid that plays Podcast, he was like 3'2". Now, looking at promo photos, he's massive. But you know what? Let's have a look at the trailer for Frozen Empire, because honestly, if this doesn't give you the chills at the back of your neck, nothing else will.
I'm telling you, it's going to be another hot one out there. In fact, there are heat alerts in effect for New Jersey, feeling like 100 degrees.
is that?
For the first time in New York history, people froze to death in the middle of July.
What is it?
The death chill. The power to kill by fear itself. Your veins turn to rivers of ice. Your bones crack. And the last thing you see is your own tear ducts freezing up.
Like, literally scared to death? So cool.
Yes.
I mean, how good
Right.
does that look?
It looks amazing. And do you know what I just realised watching that trailer? It's about the 13,000th time I've watched it. I was hooked to watching it. That's the first time in any ghost movie, TV show, any production with ghosts in it, there's actually some peril. Because when you think about it, right? Think of the first Ghostbusters, right? Slimer actually touches Venkman, and what happens? He just goes through him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And like this, people are actually dying, but there's actually spikes coming out the sea, and people are actually getting injured, and they're in trouble, and all the rest of it. It's not just a guy going, "I'm going to take over the world." There's actually genuine peril. All right, it's got Patton Oswalt in it, but you know, we can't all be perfect.
But no, I mean, the great thing I like about it is, yeah, they're not revisiting anything. This is brand new.
No. Yeah.
So I think that we're going to go to the cinema and we're actually going to experience a brand new story. And they've actually gone back to the original firehouse
ladder.
in New York. But they're reshooting at the moment in Atlanta. So I wonder why they're doing reshoots if they're not happy with the finished article. But I can't wait. I really can't. I mean, it's one of those franchises. To think. I mean, when did the original come out? That was like
84 and 89 were the first two.
Shut up, 84.
Yeah.
Jesus, I would have been 5.
Yeah.
Jesus, what? So it just shows how good a franchise can actually last, you know, and how popular it can be to this day. And what a great job they did with Afterlife, and yeah. So when we talk about rebooting, I think all these films need to take a leaf out of their book. But apparently there was rumours that there's a possible remake of Fight Club.
Oh, weird. All right.
Because apparently,
you're thinking people are at home going, do you know what? They should really remake Fight Club with, you know,
because
Timothée
apparently
Chalamet.
there was a comic series that were published in 2015 about Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, who knows?
But we know the thing. We know the twist. Why would they remake Fight Club? Like we know the end. It's like remaking Usual Suspects. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, I know. But I just wanted a quick shout out again. If you want to win this production used storyboard from Star Wars signed by Robert Watts, the producer of Star Wars, worth £325, please just hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. And on the 3rd of January, we'll be announcing the winner, and it will get sent to you literally the next day or so directly from Prop Store. I think this is about time. I think our time is up. But we're back next week. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever. You know, just say, we've just got a super chat here from silhouetted animator. So just wanted to say, I think multiverse. Let me just bring it up on on.
Yeah, let me have a read. I need me readers for this.
I think it's something to do with Superman. So it just says here. How do you think we'll get an explanation for how Bizarro World came to existence in Superman Lois season 4? in all fairness, I personally think because we ended season 3 with Doomsday, I think, and then we've got obviously the introduction of Lex Luthor. I don't think there's going to be much said about the Bizarro World. I think that it's going to be focused more about Lex Luthor. In all fairness, the 2 episodes that Dylan Walsh is coming back for, I should imagine they're probably going to be for episode 1 and probably episode 10. But we're yet to find out. I'm sure. I mean, I'm always in contact with Jay Jameson, one of the writers. So as soon as what.
I genuinely thought you were telling me that you're in contact with J. Jonah Jameson. Like, give us some photos of Superman, Spider-Man, and he's giving you $200. Get out of here.
And I think they introduced the Bizarro World because, they had plans for this season to go on for the seasons to go on for 9-10 seasons. That was their plan. That was the creator's plan.
The 4th season, then.
That's the final.
Is this like a last roll of the dice, or is that it done? Or is it like when they cancel Family Guy and it might come back type of thing?
No. So the CW basically scrapped a load of shows. And Superman and Lois is the last existing superhero show.
That's a shame.
And it's down to budgeting. Superman and Lois cost so much per episode. It's unbelievable. And I've had the writers...
It's a shame.
Yeah, to be honest, it's such a superb show. It's so well done. It's very raw, real. I like how the characters are portrayed on screen. I loved season 3 because obviously Lois Lane has cancer. And then Superman could have easily taken her to the Fortress of Solitude and used Kryptonian science to cure her. But then what message would that put across to the world? That why can't Superman do that then for every single person in the world? So he doesn't because he thinks that's unfair. So it's such a good storyline. It really, really, really is. But yeah, you're right. It could be explained in future comic books. It'd be quite nice that after season 4, they continue it in a graphic novel form. I'm sure Jay Jameson, not the one that you're thinking of, he does actually write comics, as well. He wrote one about Apollo Creed, like a series about Creed, which has done really, really well. So fingers crossed, maybe they'll continue the story, like they have, like they have in the Batman 89 series or the Superman 78 series, which I think is fantastic. And so who knows? But I'm looking forward to all the news. As soon as I know, I will be posting updates and exclusives and breaking news. But again, you're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone by not only subscribing to the channel to make sure you're up to date with all the Superman and Lois information, but also you're in for a chance to win a £325. I think that works out like $400 worth of Production News storyboard. Just share the channel, get the word out there. We want to get involved more with the fans. And if you've got any ideas on any guests that you would like to come onto the show, please let us know. And keep commenting. It's really nice to see comments. Super chats, of course. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I think we're going to love you and leave you all. Dan, what are you up to for the rest of the week?
Well, I'm going to be sat in complete anticipation we've got about, 9-10 days before Reacher comes back out this month. Very excited about that. I'm going to continue to watch what you recommended to me the other week in Monarch on Apple TV, Life After G-Day, when Godzilla attacked, was it
San Francisco.
Japan, wasn't it? Oh, it was San
it?
Francisco, right? So
yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know. G-Day, they called it anyway. Big fan of that program, the Titans and all that.
Yeah.
I find them... I'm not like wildly entertained by it, but I find it fascinating that these are so mega, these movies in places like Japan. And we just kind of laugh at them as British people going, bit naff, but I'm going to watch it anyway. Bloody hell, look at that, it's Godzilla. And I always remember my dad as a kid going, yeah, look, bloody Godzilla's on. And we're like, well, it's a bloke in a rubber suit, Dad. Like, and he was right into it. And I'm like, there's kind of something nice that they're still bringing them out, you know?
And look at them now, and look at the effects. We were saying that Godzilla -1, that's doing so well at the cinema, did it all on a budget of $15 million. To think that Godzilla, the last Godzilla film with Kong, I think it was, over 200 million.
Is it Kong versus Godzilla or something naff like that? It was called, and he starts drowning him.
You say naff? They've got the new one coming out next year.
It's it's insane. It's
Godzilla
the whole
and
thing's
Kong
just
again.
Insane. Just having a tear up. Just two big things. And all it is just like the last 5 minutes of every episode of Power Rangers, but in a movie. You know what I mean? Just that's it.
Definitely. But anyway, we're going to bid farewell. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board, to all the viewers and listeners. And just keep an eye out on the channel. I've got quite a few interviews being released very, very soon on our podcast. And obviously visit our website as well, which is Be More Super podcast.com. I think it is. I forgot.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, it's all right. It's great. I'm great at promotions. But really well. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye, farewell. I'm saying goodbye better at this time than when we have guests, because I'm like, yeah, see you then, bye. Right, love you and leave you. Stay super.